Hello, 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 hello. I am back at you. Hey, 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 hey. All right, so I just did my first, I guess, official episode of Remixing Relationships. It's technically episode 2, but the first one was an introduction of who I am and what the podcast is going to be about. So this is the first one. And I talked about don't bring your ex into your next. So I just wanted to recap because that's what I do. And the audio version is going on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Audible. So I'm trying to get my mic to do what it do. It wouldn't do what it do. So I'm trying to figure that out. And just to get all the kinks out. So everybody that watched the first episode, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna get the kinks out as this was technically the first episode, and then we are gonna rock and roll. Y'all know I've been doing this thing for a long time, and I still want you to listen to my podcast, Shine with Kendall and Denise. There are so many episodes on there as we talk about relationships. All season 11 of Shine with Kendall and Denise, that's what we focused on. So I have some real good shows about relationships. So I'm going to bring a couple of those guests over to Remixing Relationships. I'm going to have some brand new guests, some in person, some that are going to be virtual, that are open, honest, candid about relationships and the relationships they're in currently and how they remix their relationship to do things differently, because we can't keep doing the same old thing. So I got some folks who are very honest and open and candid. I'm gonna even have Charles on, and he's gonna be sitting right here, and we're gonna be talking about some things. You want to come sit over here right now? You gonna what? Y'all want to hear Charles? You don't look, don't play. Look, here he come. But you sit on that side. Surprise! Yes. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So you asked some questions about, I guess it's the after show. So I guess we're going to be doing after shows. So Charles will do the after show with me. Y'all want him to do the after show? He could do the after show. All right. So you asked some questions in the episode.
I asked, can you still have a healthy relationship with your ex if you're currently in a new relationship? And what I mean by that, if you don't have, of course, if you have kids with somebody,
Your feet are distracting me.
I'm assuming something like that is.
Go ahead. No, you can stay right there. You look comfortable. Stay right there.
If you have kids, of course, you have to have, some type of dialogue with your ex, of course. But if you don't have any type of connection or reason to communicate, how can that be a healthy relationship within a new relationship? That I was just wanting people's opinion on that. Is that possible?
If you have kids?
No kids. No connection, no reason to even communicate other than just friends, and that's your ex. Can you still have some type of dialogue or communication with that ex when you're in a brand new relationship? Is that possible?
I don't think you should be. If you don't have no kids, you don't have no business together, literally or figuratively, then what is the purpose, especially if you're in another relationship?
I agree. I mean, I was just asking the question.
And he wasn't here when he was asking the question. I don't want y'all to think he was typing and he was asking the question during the show, because he wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I even feel awkward even, saying that, but just wanted, the audience, there's millions of you guys watching this, so I just wanted,
Yes, talk
from
millions.
women and men, what you guys think about that, because that does exist. It does exist. I know a lot of people that have relationships with past partners, spouse, whatever that may be, and I really don't understand why, but I just wanted to see what you think about that.
Yeah, no, I don't understand why either. Like, if you, it doesn't have to be bad, but you don't have to be having them all up in your relationship or talking to them all the time. Hey, I just got off the phone with my ex. But if you have kids, like, because when your kids get married, your ex gonna be there. Or when you know, certain things because you got kids, so they always, vice versa, they always gonna be around, but they shouldn't be in the everyday life.
Yes, I agree.
But some they be in the everyday life. They be eating dinner and stuff.
Yes.
Be talking. So do you be talking to your exes and stuff?
If I never talk to my ex again, it'll be too soon. That's real talk. It'll be too soon. So no, I'm good. You know, I'm the type of
He says it all the time. That's why y'all have no idea.
I believe when you close a chapter in your life, that you leave that chapter, you always, turn to the next page to finish the book. I never go back and try to reread a chapter again, because that chapter is behind me. It's like driving a car. You never drive looking through the rear mirror. The windshield is bigger and brighter because your future is bigger and brighter.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people out there that still talk to their ex. Like, they still, like, every day they talking to their ex. I know somebody right now that their ex wakes them up every day, like an alarm clock, like they did when they were in a relationship. He wakes her up every day.
That's not an accident.
But that's the only time I guess so. But that's the only time they talk. Is when he wake up. I'm just making sure, because I know you, because he's going back to how they were. Like, I know that you oversleep for work. So when they were together, I guess he would roll over and wake her up. So that's what he does. But she's not in a relationship. So that's interesting. How you think something like that will play a part if she gets into a new relationship and the ex is waking her up every morning? So what if I had an ex like waking me up every morning, and you go to wake me up and call me and say, "Hey, good morning," and I'd be like, "I'm already up. My ex woke me up." What would you say?
I've never heard of that one before. I don't think that would even exist in any type of relationship, because that's crazy. I know we have crazy stories that we all hear all the time, but that's one that really doesn't make much sense, because there's no purpose or meaning for that. You with a new person, and you calling your ex every morning to wake them up while someone else is laying next to you. I mean, that doesn't make much sense at all.
Yeah, it happens. I wanted to recap because this is the first episode. So I was talking to Charles about, like, I got to make sure this is right. My mic went out on me, different things like that. So I'm not going to be too hard on myself because it's the first episode of this new podcast. But y'all know I deliver quality. So I just wanted to recap to see if you watched it. What do you think? Let me make sure. I took the plug out. But what did you think overall from what you saw, Charles?
It was a great segment. Information that anyone can relate to. That I feel like if you're over the age of 20 or maybe younger, over the age of 20, it's questions and situations and circumstances that we all had to deal with at some level, and that's going to be the power of this podcast, because it's going to be questions and shows that can really be you can apply them to your life, practical, realistic questions that we all can have dialogue. It's not just Kendall is talking to you directly. It's just an open forum, and we all can grow from that. So that's what I'm excited about.
You excited about? So what episode do you want to be a guest on? What you want to, like, when we do our episode, what you want to talk about?
Communication, healthy communication, unhealthy communication, conflict resolution.
That's a couple episodes.
I'm gonna combine everything all in one.
I don't know how that's gonna work. So if you had to be, so probably communication styles, maybe we can do communication styles and love languages. We can combine those.
Yeah, and that's something that, I have come a long way myself, and I'm still learning because I always want to learn to be better. So basically just have dialogue, and I know it's going to be a lot of guys on that show, and ladies alike. So we can kind of like see what's the best way of communication, because that's the foundation of relationships. So I would like to be a part of that. I'm invited.
Yeah, you're invited. You can't be late though. So maybe you can come halfway through the show.
Yes.
You can come halfway through. So maybe I do that. Maybe I have you on the second half of the show. And then we talk about that.
I'll be en route. I'll be on the chat.
He was in the chat because he was training, right? For the people that don't know, tell the people what you do.
I am a global trainer. I can train all over. I will be in a county, city, or state near you soon. Just doing health and wellness, trauma healing. So it's going to be more than physical. It's going to be more mental health as well. And because you need a healthy mind to have a healthy body.
Yeah.
And so, that's what I do. And it's global. I'm excited to be able to really share my life and my experiences to help others heal. So I'm excited about it.
So I got a question for the after show, since we're talking about remixing relationships. What lesson have you learned from a past relationship?
I have learned that everyone has a different type of way of communicating, and you just can't use an old style in a new relationship. So basically, just taking time to study the person that you're with, to be able to have a healthy line of communication. So I learned that you just can't take your own style. I feel like if I'm always doing the same thing and communicating the same thing according to the way I communicate, not everyone can relate to my style of communicating. I love edification. I love touchy-feely, things like that, but not everyone is like that. So
get off my arm. Get off my arm. Get off my arm now, Joe.
But it's just learning. Yeah, I learned that you have to really, know a person's love language and study that person. And
get a PhD in that person.
Yeah, study, and that's ongoing. You never stop learning, and that's exciting. Just learning who you with, and it's not always going to be easy, but it's worth it.
Child, ain't never easy.
Honey child.
I don't know why I laughed. I say child all the time. As soon as I say child, he say honey child. It's like the first time I heard it. It just literally this happens every time, and I still be laughing. But yeah, lessons is, if you don't learn lessons from past relationships, then they are going to show up in your present relationship, even if you don't want them to show up. And you can't love everybody the same way. Like you said, you got to get to know your person, and that's how you can effectively love them.
Truly.
Yeah, because you can't love people the same way. Let me see. We're gonna have a show on the biggest lesson I learned. So do I want to save mine? Maybe the lesson I learned is to be silent more.
Well, being silence is a form of communicating. Sometimes that's the way that you listen, and listening is a very important tool in communicating. Not saying nothing at all, that's golden. because a lot of people try to out-talk each other. So that's valuable to learn that lesson that, hey, sometimes I just need to really absorb and digest what my mate says, then respond to it. So that's powerful.
Yeah. Because I come off past relationships where, like, you got to be defensive, or you got to explain yourself, or you feel like you're defending yourself. And that, if you don't heal that and get that in check, then you can bring that part of your ex into your next and not even know it.
Yeah.
Where, like, say for instance, you'd be like, well, you don't got to defend yourself, but then I feel like I might have to. And I'm glad we don't, have that issue. But that's a way that people could kind of bring their ex into the relationship and not know. Because somebody out there might be like, well, I don't talk about my ex in the relationship, but maybe some of the behavior you bring into your relationship based off of how you had to interact with an ex. Yeah, whether it was 20 years ago or a month ago.
And if you're a person that's always defending yourself, it puts the other person on, you're walking on eggshells.
Yep.
And you can't be in a relationship where you can't say anything, or you feel like it's going to be an argument if you give advice, or if it's going to be a conflict if you say certain things. So if either person in the relationship is walking on eggshells, you can't really express who you are.
Yeah.
Because that puts up, a fig tree, a fig leaf, whatever, going back to biblical, where you have to remove the fig leaves to be transparent.
Yeah, it was like the fig out the eye or something, wasn't that? Like something like that.
Yes.
The stick, not the stick. It's not the fig out the eye. The log out the eye.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I've been on the Bible.
Yeah, it's somewhere. It's in the Bible, somewhere in the front.
First Testament or the Old Testament?
The front part.
That's the Old Testament.
In the middle.
In the middle. That's the New Testament.
It's somewhere.
That's the New Testament. So this last episode I talked about, he was in the comments. In the car. You was in the car, or you was at the gym?
I was in the car.
In the car?
Cruising. Rushing to get here. So he could be on the after show, the spontaneous after show. So if y'all, drop in the comments, y'all want him on the after show as I do the shows, to do the episodes. But it was about not bringing your ex to the next. And sometimes when you're not healed, you might not be mentioning their name, or you might not be mentioning something that happened in the relationship, but your behavior or disposition may be bringing the spirit of the ex with you, and you don't even know. That's deep. It is.
That's deep. Anything else you want to say to the peoples?
Just live every day as if it's a new day, and don't live in the past, because the past has no purpose in your present.
It doesn't. If it's to grow, if it's to learn, if it's to heal, you think it does, or no? You think nah?
I don't think you have to rewrite history, because history has always been written already. So I don't think you have to rewrite it. What you learn, you're going to learn by new experiences. So when you're in a new relationship, you can't repeat the same situation because you're not with the same person.
Right.
So again, like I said before, you don't handle the same person or circumstances and situations the same way you did 10 years ago. So why should you have to go backwards when you can just live forward and learn each other, and just plan ahead and do things differently.
All right, do things differently. All right, so this is a recap of Remixing Relationships. It'll be on every Monday. Let's see if you know the time. What time is Remixing Relationships coming on?
Eastern time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast.
That's what Eastern time means?
Yes, East Coast. So that's where we are.
So make sure you subscribe.
Because sometimes we're gonna be in, Miami, South Beach. So that's the speak that thing.
No, we're gonna be in California, or the Midwest, or Central Time, Pacific Time.
Paris, Japan, I don't know. So international time.
All right, but the show will always be on Eastern time.
Yes.
So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Each episode is going to get betterer and betterer.
And
Going to
gooder
have
and
some,
gooder.
and gooder and gooder. We're going to have some amazing guests, some great topics. We're going to talk about healing. We're going to talk about doing things differently, but ultimately promoting healthy relationships. Because what's the point of having a relationship if it's not healthy? Now, you can keep doing the same old unhealthy relationships, but we're trying to remix the relationships to keep relationships together, not just the counting the years, but the quality of relationships. All right, you want to say bye to the people? Bye.
And we're going to give free dance lessons.
Who going to get the free dance lessons? You going to be the instructor? You going to be the instructor?
After lesson number 773.
We on dance lesson. Now, if you follow him on Facebook, then you know what dance lesson we're talking
Yes,
about.
look that up.
Get your happy hibiscus.
32 ways. Start drinking that. 32 ways. To college days. 32 ways. Slim in the face. 32 ways.
So he's talking about I'm giving him dance lessons, and they're on his Facebook, and they're pretty comical. So that's what he's talking about.
Yes.
But you was doing good last time we tried.
I'm learning.
Bye.
Good night. Good morning, wherever you are.
You're vegan.